For about as long as humanity's existence, we've created many things out of making content for others to consume, among careers, awards, and more, whether it was educational, hilarious, or dramatic. However, with the dawn of film, we finally had the opportunity to archive what we made, more specifically, things involving entertainment, and the introduction of the internet increased how many possibilities there were to archive media infinitely. The first and most popular example of lost media that can pull off the top of my head is the burning of the Library of Alexandria. So many important documents that would have paved the way for future generations were all gone in the blink of an eye, reduced to nothing but crumbly ash. I like to relate the burning of the Library of Alexandria to really anything, but in this case, early internet. Knowledge scarce to the point of non-existence. More specifically, we're discussing Roblox's early clients from 2006. At this point, we've been looking for these clients for years, with the only shreds of evidence keeping us from going on with this search being the scarce gameplay and promotions from the same year. However, they might as well have the same merit as an early internet hoax, considering how close we've been to finding them, only to fall flat on our faces every time. You'd be surprised with how many times this search has been able to evade our senses, which we will get to later. Now, for context, according to the games industry lens of Amazon, a game client is a software or hardware device, or both, that the player uses for playing a game. The game client provides the software for translating the player's inputs into messages that are sent to a server for processing. In other words, it's pretty much a complete file with the 2006 Roblox copy that we're looking for. You could think of Roblox from 2006 to 2008 as a poorly made Lego simulator that looks a decade behind its time considering when it was released. As a matter of fact, when I showed my brother the first trailer on YouTube, he asked me if what I was watching was supposed to be from the 90s. The overall aesthetic of 2006 Roblox is still incredibly charming, though, and I agree with anyone who says they'd want the website to return to the retro look for just today. Many of the icons and decals in the old Roblox engine were actually ripped from media which is archived from the early 90s, which is a great testament as to how primitive the game was. Better yet, when running slightly newer found clients on Windows 95, the older clients from 2007 and 2008 still look mediocre on the hardware. I am dogging on this older version of Roblox, but admittedly, it's still an exponentially important piece of history, especially to Gen Z culture. As I've stated earlier, we've had so many instances of coming so close to finding this thing, but to no avail. The closest we've come to getting this older client was about last year, I think, and basically someone came forward saying that they had a 2006 client of Roblox, was unsure whether or not the hard drive was still archivable. We made major strides in getting all the file from the hard drive back. Yet we found out that the 2006 client that we were promised was overridden by a download from 2008, which we already had. Though our hopes are high, we were let down, and honestly, I think this was the straw that broke the camel's back for the community. The odds were always low when it came to actually finding this important piece of internet history and Gen Z culture. After all, at this point in time, any hard drive for the client has to be at least 18 years old. Even worse, the typical hard drive goes bad after 3 to 5 years. So, all in all, we were incredibly hopeless in finding this thing. As a matter of fact, this isn't mentioning other factors such as how Roblox was heavily criticized back in its early days, how small its player base was in 2006, and how the official Roblox company itself doesn't keep archives of its clients, preventing us from finding this thing. If the only purpose of writing this episode was to discourage everything people have been working towards finding in the end, then don't be mistaken, as all I'm really trying to do is spread awareness for this piece of lost media, while trying to keep things realistic. Because we won't ever come close to finding it if we aren't fully reasonable about our circumstances. So, I hope you enjoyed my talk.